The Naval Academy Museum presents A History of the Navy in 100 Objects.
With the Japanese advance in the Pacific stemmed with the Marine landing at Guadalcanal in 1942, the U.S. was able to focus more attention back to the Atlantic. Operation Torch, the American and British invasion of North Africa, loomed on the horizon, and it would be one of the few battles with significant American naval presence in the Atlantic. We go now to Dr. Scott Harmon for a little bit more about Operation Torch's beginning and the battleship Massachusetts.
We're looking at a small piece of metal right now. This is a shell fragment from a 16-inch shell fired by the battleship Massachusetts at French forces in North Africa. You may ask, what were we doing in North Africa? What was an American ship shooting at a French ship for? Well, after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and the United States entry into the war, we had two foes, Japan and Germany. And it was Germany that was the primary objective of the United States. The U.S. had promised England that if we came into the war, Germany would be the primary target. The question was, how is the United States going to get involved into the war in Europe? Discussions between American and British leadership focused on the American side at a landing in France. Right away, establish a beachhead, build that up, and then attack Germany directly. The British, reflecting on their experience in World War I and the trench warfare and the tremendous casualties this incurred, revived their long strategic plan of using the Navy to hit around the periphery of the enemy and use an ally to attack the enemy on land. The compromise in these discussions was to put troops ashore in North Africa. There were German troops and Italian troops aiming towards the Suez Canal, and to relieve the pressure on the Suez Canal and to relieve pressure on the ally, the Soviet Union, it was decided to make these landings. In November of 1942, American and British forces made landings on the Atlantic and Mediterranean coasts of North Africa. In that, the French forces, France being occupied for the most part by Germany, were nominal allies of Germany, not enthusiastic, but nominal allies, and had to resist the American landings there. So the American battleship Massachusetts began firing on French forces. There was a French battleship, the Jean Bart, in port. They exchanged some fire, and after the battle, when the Americans landed and the French forces had surrendered, some of the debris was examined, and this little piece of metal was recovered, fired from the battleship Massachusetts in this engagement. The result of this is that American and British troops that landed in North Africa, the British forces that were defending the Suez Canal started going to the west. The American and British troops in the west started heading to east, trapped German and Italian troops between them. A major surrender of Italian and British and German forces resulted, and the next step would then be into Sicily, Italy, and eventually to France. Thank you very much for joining us. Courage, service, true with all.